I've been wondering if there's something I can do to spice up these streams while I'm sitting here just sort of walking back and forth in the tall grass. I mean, last time we had this happen, it was the Stars Without Numbers recap and meme-filled stream. All of those stories were pretty wild. As I pointed out, there's not too many stories in like the 5e campaign. What else is going on in the world? What's happening right now that I could talk about? Not much. I mean, good old Donald Trump got taken off Twitter, haha. And everyone was like, well, we're gonna go off Twitter, and no one cared, because thanks. Please go. Exit's right over there. Sounds nice. But I mean, at the same time, we're also like close to being done with the presidency. Just a few days. It's like, what, 2 weeks left? Then Mr. Bare Minimum Biden's gonna walk on in and do the par standard for the course and probably not really fix anything, so that's gonna be fun. Seeing people give him a pat on the back and a round of applause for not really changing the status quo. At least maybe people will finally get their fucking stimulus checks that they need to survive. But even that's a big if. Talking about politics on stream though is always not really my forte. I don't pay attention to it enough to really warrant a earnest discussion in the matter. I can't really do that. Sorry, I was just tabbed out for a second. What else is going on other than the obvious though? I think we're at the full year of not having a single full Nintendo Direct, which is unfortunate. It's been a long time. A long time. Like, actually, I checked and showed Parker, like, I don't really care about politics, but good riddance? Yeah, I mean, let's be honest. I don't think you need a strong political opinion to think that Donald Trump is kind of stupid. And probably shouldn't have been in office, considering all he is a failed reality TV star and a bankrupt billionaire. But, it has been a full year since a single, like, full regular Nintendo Direct, and that year ago thing was the Direct for Pokemon. I think it was the announcement for the Isle of Armor? I think that was the stream. Because that was released in the early summer. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's true. And slightly before that was the last like regular Nintendo Direct where they were showing off a bunch of things that still haven't really come out other than Animal Crossing. So yeah, Nintendo's kind of radio silent right now with nothing going on. I think the only thing in development that we know... What is there? There's something. There's like one game that's in development that I can't think of. Metroid Prime got delayed, and that doesn't count. Everything has been... Is everything out? No, it's Breath of the Wild 2. That's the one that had an announcement, and we still haven't seen anything for other than that one trailer, which was cool. But the hydrated Ganondorf memes have run its course, and the well is bone dry. So we're still waiting. Not sure when that one's gonna come back up. What else is going on in that time? I mean, Capcom updated its privacy thing, and it wasn't that wild. Other than the weird thing where Capcom product or content in the form of emotes on Twitch will be flagged and reported, which is very strange. And I don't think is a good idea, but I mean everything else in those terms policies was kind of okay. You know what did happen though? So there was a big thing that was happening with Shueisha. So if you don't know, Shueisha is the company that sort of publishes a lot of the shonen anime stuff. You got your Naruto, your One Piece, your Dragon Ball. It's like that guy, Shonen Jump. That's a Shueisha. So the weird thing is this, like Capcom, I think they recently changed their policy around posting content online, but for the far, 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 far worse. Like, so far I haven't really seen any issue, and like, the emote thing with Capcom is I don't like it, but one bad egg out of a pile of it, understandable, is fine. Shueisha, on the other hand, has started flagging and reporting and banning people on various platforms that dare share, I kid you not, memes, fan art, various references to their product, whether it's new or old, so don't talk about the things that they post. And then fan-made content, like just random panels or stuff that people just make up, not even official things. And they start flagging and reporting it. And various people that post content on that regard have started privating their profiles just so they have to delete all this shit, because Shueisha doesn't like fun. Yeah, I mean, the Capcom thing makes sense. Like, it just says, as long as you provide your own flair of content, we're okay. Which is true. If you're just uploading the straight game, then it's gonna get flagged, which is understandable. But Shueisha, I'm fortunate enough to have never really done anything. I've thrown a few memes and talked about a few like specific chapters of stuff that I've read, but I've never posted any like content regarding the shows and stuff, so I'm really lucky. Because God, I would not go back and scour through my fucking Twitter and Twitch profile if I had any Dragon Ball or Naruto content posted there. It's just stupid. Like, why? Why would they do that? I don't get it. It doesn't make sense. Do they just not like people enjoying the content that they make? Do they think you must only enjoy it in private? You may not talk about it to anyone. They really don't. I mean, I don't think it's just Japanese companies, because there's just some companies stupid. It's just various executives. But you'd think Shueisha would be on point. I'm looking up here myself. Oh, hold up. My current laptop has 3 USB ports, a cord headphone port, and an HDMI port, and a mini display port. What mic should I get? And headphone. Well, in that regard, so your Elgato will take up. Alright, that's a rough one because you only have. Oh no, you have 3 USB ports. So the Elgato will take up 1 USB port. I have a. What is this called? Here we go, Audio Technica, because they're genuinely comfortable. I like them. I don't like Logitech or Razer or any of those like standard gamer headphones because I don't know, they feel like they're lower quality and not great. Audio Technica has sort of served me well so far. because I like over-the-ear headphones. I don't like earbuds or anything. So this one's really good. As for headphone or for a mic, I mean, Blue Yeti is what I got. Blue Yeti is a pretty safe bet. It's expensive though. It's up there. So if you don't have the money, don't worry about it. And again, don't spend too much money on something you're not committed to yet. But I mean, quality does last. Blue Yeti and Audio-Technica products I've found don't really break, so they're good in the long run. As for anything else, I mean, I don't think there's anything else I could really say other than that. I'm pretty sure with 3 USB ports it'll be good. So yeah, the executives are stupid boomers who don't understand what a fucking internet is. Doubt they could point out their own routers in their house. It's just frustrating, like, how hard is it to understand that people talking about your product and sharing their own version of your product without trying to say that this is canon, just, you know, doing the fan art thing where you support a product and make things that look pretty is not a bad thing. Like, this doesn't happen in sports. This doesn't happen in sports. People in sports, like, make their own, like, homemade things all the time. Because why the fuck would a sports team go out of their way to, like, punish people for making flags and shit and posters and everything? It's stupid, because your fans are getting enjoyment and they're gonna go to your games and they're gonna support and buy stuff at the games and cheer you on and everything. And hey, that's money just being generated by people liking stuff. And for some reason, online media and game companies, like, they don't get it. It's so hard to cram it through their thick skull that people having fun with your product in their own way can still generate money and like make a safe, like, wholesome fandom. It's so stupid. I don't understand. It really frustrates me, because I'm not sure what they expect people to do. Talking hushed whispers about a product that they took and like, yeah, this is a really good game, but don't tell anyone I told you. Is it like a black market deal? Am I gonna get arrested for saying I drew a picture of Mega Man? No. I don't get it. The executives who make decisions like these must be the most, like, stone-faced, cold people that just don't understand the concept of fun and just profit off of someone else's product because they saw money signs, like, printed on the fucking manga. I hate it. It's so dumb. It seems to me that I don't understand so many, like, just businessmen. If we're just looking at it from a purely economical perspective, it still doesn't make sense. It might be my Wi-Fi is always... Wait, I can check my stats. I don't have any dropped frames so far. So, I don't know. God, I might have to cut this part of it. You know what? I'm done searching. I'll come back and search. I'm not gonna stay forever. It's not worth it. I mean, to be honest, that makes sense. The Japanese have not, despite what the internet might have you believe, with, for some reason, having so many fucking neckbeards fetishizing Japanese culture, Japan's not that great. I'm gonna be honest. It's a cool place with a lot of history, and if you want to visit a tourist, go ahead. But they have such a different and, dare I say, extremely strict business life. If you think crunches are bad in the US, Japan is not good. They legitimately have various, like, motels put in place for office workers to stay in that are just like tubes and small rooms so that they don't have to be too far from work. Japan culture pushes like the put the fuck to nose to the grindstone, work hard in early, and then like pay off in the later in life. To the point that it's kind of extreme from what I'm aware with. And that's coupled with the fact that, I'm gonna be honest, from what I've read, they're pretty sexist and maybe racist. I don't know about the racist part, but the sexist part is not great. It's not great. The thing that Japan does do well is that they like promote education and technology to an extreme, which in itself is not great. To the point that itself can be an issue when it comes to glorifying financial success. It seems like in Japan, basically everything's about money, and where that benefits is that they do. I mean, the racist part is. Have you ever? Okay, let's put it this way. For the racist part, have you name an anime where it's based in Japan and it has a main black person or any person of color? And you won't. I don't think there's a single one. There's maybe few, but I can also guarantee you that those might have been produced under different executives that aren't just Japanese dominated. They are very ultra-nationalistic. I think Japan is interesting. The culture is cool. The stuff they make is cool. And it's a very pretty country. And maybe if you already had the money, it might be a cool place to live, because you'd have access to a ton of cool technology. But the culture, nowadays, isn't great. It's really easy to idealize something when you've been living in the US for so long, because, I'm gonna be honest, the dumpster fire that is the current US is not great. But it doesn't make every other country a bag of roses, so to speak. Now I can harp on it, it's obviously still like, I'm not calling it a third world country. It's still a first world, extremely like strong country that has earned its way into being on the forefront of most modern day like issues. But the point being, we shouldn't idealize other countries just because the one we're living in is not great. The same goes for Canada. I can rag on Canada for a lot of things that I've learned over my life. Like, oh boy, they sure did the same stuff that America did during like all of its past, just like 100 years later. The place that I'd love to live, the fucking the various Nordic countries like Denmark and Sweden, they're kind of home to a lot of white nationalists. It's not great. Everywhere's got its issues. Rock slide lombre, too bad it does no damage, you fucking loser. This is all just an elaborate way to say that if you're ever given the opportunity to live in another country other than your own, to not cross a country off just because of bad things you've heard on the news, but to look into the culture and see, is the pros worth the cons? Because it's gonna have a con. It is going to have a con, 100%. If that fixes things, wait, is there what caused most crunch? I think it's the reputation they have for upholding their company. It's a few things. And in terms of upholding, okay. let me preface this with saying I am not an educated man in this factor, and I'm pulling this bits of information based on media that I've seen, newspapers and things I've heard, and all that. I am not an educated person in this field, and there's probably some opinions that are completely wrong that I'm about to give. But I'm gonna give my opinion anyways, because this is my channel, and I'm gonna be stupid on it. So here we go. If I had to guess what leads the crunch culture that Japan has, it honestly does harken back just to making... I think it harkens back just to like making enough money to support a large family. Which usually comes back to, honestly, religion. But if you notice, a lot of various countries in Asia do have a tendency to be a larger family, like a big family that promote hard work, because in those countries, I'm gonna be honest, there was a lot of fighting in like China, for example. They broke up like several times during the years just to reform. Japan's no different. They had so many wars that having a lot of kids sort of was the way to guarantee you'd make money. And nowadays, that's sort of evolved into a way that everyone in your family should try their best to make that money and to be the breadwinner. So when that evolves into modern day, it does evolve into working overtime constantly, making sure you have top grades in your class, and it leads to a lot of stress. Like, you know how much, like the suicide forest is a pretty easy example. Japan, it promotes hard work a bit too much. I know that it's easy to say from the outside, and that everyone does it, and I don't know what kind of solutions. But, like, I don't know what kind of solutions Japan's put forth, because I doubt they're ignoring the issue. I'm not going to say that, and I'm not going to harp on Japan like it's the worst country. But I'm unaware of how many solutions they have tried putting in place. It does often... I don't know why I tried running back. It does often feel like it leads back to the culture as a whole pushes productivity to the extreme. Because, okay, if you think China is the oldest civilization, China is the oldest civilization, I'm pretty sure, but... God, I had a point that I was going to make. Okay, the point I'm trying to make is that I'm going to just, like, slow down, because I'm throwing so many words. The US doesn't... Everything promotes productivity, but the US promotes creativity, in a way. I know that oftentimes the US does shut down various creative endeavors, but it tries to promote a new way to solve an issue, because the US has always sort of done that. It's always been like, don't do the same thing, do this thing better. Whereas Japan seems to be saying, do it better, but just in terms of efficiency. The US is about creativity with productivity, and Japan feels like it's more about efficiency and productivity. This is all my completely outside opinion with no education and no cultural experience, because I've never been to Japan. So, if you disagree with everything that I've been saying for the past, who knows, 20 minutes, 15 minutes, I don't know, please tell me that I'm a big doo-doo head, because I probably am, and I'm stupid. But I like to talk, and I will talk, because this is my channel.